11:10 a.m. Once again, February 19th, 2025. This being Wednesday, and we are bringing you back to the table for more talk. Now, I hope you've been paying attention and tuning in to my previous episodes because they are all segues in their own ways. So, as far as the previous video, did you watch it in its entirety? Did you click on the link? And I'm speaking not pertaining to the Hillary Clinton. Anyways, what I'm going to bring to the table now is, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed that you did click on the link and actually not only watch but listen to what Donald Trump brought to the table. I want to address it on a little bit of a different note now. Okay, so he's bringing up all these little factoids that have been discovered relating to Social Security and age groups and the number of individuals within these specified age groups that he brings out. And I wanna, let's just kind of, well, let's go off into the bizarre just a little bit. All right? Because as Donald Trump says, well, I never met these people. I never met these people. Let's go down just a little bit of, well, for right now, we'll call it fiction. So, age group, let's just go ahead and go with, he said 200 years old. All right? And he brings up all these different age groups from 90 years old and up to 200. So, what if, remember, this is just a theoretical view, but what if there are certain individuals that have been claiming Social Security? They've been claiming it for 200 years. Well, that would make them that much older than 200 years, right? But regardless of the statistics thereof, let's just talk about some people that don't age. And well, over the last few years, there's been a lot of talk about a certain cult that uses human fluids for anti-aging. We've also heard this throughout history of a queen that would bathe in blood. We've heard of a count that would supposedly drain his victims of their blood. The same so-called count, a fictional character, was based on an actual historic character that was just as bloodthirsty, but possibly in a different manner, right? Vlad, yeah. So, okay, maybe there is a reality to all of this. You know? Maybe we have to understand that there is and always has been a connection to science and religion. Furthermore, maybe we're also to understand that spirit world. Because and certain cults and their religion revolves around spirits. We have had historical periods of time to where those that interacted with the spirits were hunted down, claimed that they were tied in with Satan. They were known as witches, oracles, summoners, mediums, clairvoyants. Some of those claimed that they were in touch with other beings, entities, gods, monsters, fairies. So let's backtrack. To science and religion. Through both, we hear of such things as genetic hybridization. We have stories from the past. We are gaining knowledge through the past, and yet maybe the past is still the present and of the future. And just as a side note, Egypt, hieroglyphics. I still see today's present emojis as a style of rudimentary hieroglyphics. So let's go back to blood, cults, and let's go from material like this over to material such as this. Okay? Yes, I have a collection of movies, and I apologize for the dust. I have a collection of movies that is, right around 3,000 in total. Okay? Now then, let's take some of the macabre, some of the bizarre, and apply it to possible secret societies or cults. Well, let's just stick with the Knights Templar. This is where I'm going down a rabbit hole of just craziness, okay? But we're going to go to vampires. Okay? And that of the Crusaders, the Knights Templar. Really, Morgan? Yeah, let's go there. Okay, so just as a couple of examples here, are you familiar with this movie, Season of the Witch? Nicolas Cage, to where he's a Knights Templar, a Crusader. Okay? And what are they doing? Well, they're transporting a witch. Okay, and it's a battle. And so let's just use that as a reference. Now let's go on to, and this would be a reference to the past, okay? Just a little branch off of possibilities within this society here. The Crusaders, Knights Templar, the Freemasons, okay? Militaristic, right? Knighthood, okay? So let's go into the world of, once again, fantasy, sci-fi, whatever, and take those Knights Templar into the future with a movie known as Priest. And you might see the cross on his forehead. Okay? If you notice, if you turn this right here, we have with the sword the cross. Okay? We should be familiar with that red cross, right? But what does Priest? Okay, he is of those knights that goes outside of the future city. Okay? All right? Now we go back to the book of Revelations and the city. And if you go into, don't quote me, but it possibly is chapter 21 of Revelation, and it speaks of those outside of the gates of the city, and those, their teeth are gnashing and all that. Well, this is basically what's going on here. Because outside of this city in which the religious priests of the time, the church is the control system, okay? All those are under the control of the church. Okay, and it's quite symbolic. You know, this is supposed to be post-apocalyptic. This is from the past. Okay, they're out hunting down witches and whatnot, but there's also vampires there. Of course, we always hear about that. Well, we have vampires here, and that is also, Legion and Gabriel, angels, the church, okay, and those that separated from the church. Okay, and so we go back to, once again, Donald Trump and these age groups of these people. And I keep bringing about the factors of the Freemason Society, the military. I mean, this is so expansive. And you might think, oh, Morgan, oh, this is just nuts. All right? Oh, seriously. Okay, we can go with the global powers and the secret societies, and okay, yeah, a lot of that makes sense. But come on now, we got these so-called knights in the past and knights in the future, and they're hunting down, these what would consider be of the spirit world, aligned with Satan, being witches and whatnot, and and being with the those in the coffins, in allegiance with those with horns and the cryptids. The stories of combinations of man with other things. Well, I guess those have to be hunted down, right? Well, and these are soldiers, the knights. Well, soldiers, right? That's what knights are. Hunting down witches and cryptids such as vampires and ooh, getting the picture yet. We have a draining of a swamp, don't we? Okay, so let's get back. Soldiers, hunting down stuff. Have you gone into the bizarre realm of soldiers and hunting down things? You know, you heard, about werewolves, Michigan Dog Man, possibly. Of course, werewolves, vampires, they kind of go together, right? Is it all just fiction? Well, we have a story of a giant in Afghanistan being taken out through a major battle with armed forces. We have another story in the past, I believe it was around Mount St. Helens, where the body of a Bigfoot was retrieved via helicopters. We have these retrieval programs, UFOs. It's been going on throughout the ages, it seems. We have myths and legends of, you know, these demigods that had all these tasks. I had to go out and fight the creatures, right? And here we're having these examples of current times to where we have these, special forces, I guess. Militaristic special forces. And military being highly tied into, there's a timeline of military. And of course, there's two opposing forces of military. They all think that they pledge allegiance to the same flag, but if you will notice, there's differences to the American flag in specific that are still being used to this day. You have the gold fringed American flag, a lot of golden adornments. And then you have the basic, just red, white, and blue tassels. They're all very symbolic, people, if you understand the symbologies behind such things. Okay? And, of course, the justice system, military tribunals, and such things as Guatemala Bay or Guantanamo Bay. It's all tied together, people. And I'm going to go ahead and provide a link. I have not watched this video yet, but I've kept it on my watch later list because I knew it would be coming in handy, if not for any reason than the title alone. I told you I was going to be taking you down some strange, well, let's just call them rabbit holes. It's crazy stuff. But I find it quite fascinating. Why? And why am I putting this stuff out? Do you think I really want to? Do you think this is my cup of tea to do this stuff? No. I don't enjoy this. But it is what it is, and I'm going with the flow. So take it however you will. I'm not endorsing any of this. I'm not saying this is this and that's that by any means. I'm just throwing more out there. It's just table talk. So on that note, click on that link, watch the video. I will at some given point in time. But when you do, I just want you to think about what I've shown you right here. Okay? It's crazy stuff. But in a way, it makes a lot of sense if you really apply it accordingly. We're going to keep going on with a lot more, because you will see at some given point in time how all of this is intermingled and related to that Lewis and Clark expedition story that I want to bring to the table. So on that note, take care. Take care of yourselves, take care of one another. We'll see you once again back here on this flip side. Click that link, as I'm sure you might enjoy, or if anything, it might just remind you of what I've shown you here today. Thank you.